Okay, we will be recording this part of the session. We're going to continue with the exercise relating to lab 2, which has to do with creating forms. And what we had been working on previously, we were developing a form that was going to be used um, to capture data that was going to be stored in the employee form. Now, we had come up on a bit of a glitch when we were inputting information. We were getting an error that the information couldn't be added to the form because the form was linked, or information on the form was linked to something else. And so that was kind of a glitch there. And so I kind of started to dig into what we had here and see what the problem might be. And okay, the takeaway here that you guys have to be careful with, again, when we're working with these sorts of software, the different components that we have, and right now the only components that we have or objects are the forms. The tables. We've got 5 tables and just one form that we're creating. But each and every object has a series of properties. And we're using a lot of wizards to automatically create things, so we don't have to do programming. However, there's a lot of options and properties in all of these objects that can make them work or look or react differently. Okay, so one thing that I'm going to recommend to you guys, I'm going to mention here what was the problem with the form. And when you're working with the forms, either with the lab exercises and your final project, because it's related in the end, and you find maybe glitches and things that maybe aren't working exactly as we did them in the lab exercises, remember that I'm going to be providing the examples of what I'm doing in the lab exercises. And so open the example and always try to compare that the properties that you have in your form, table, or query or report or whatever we're doing have exactly the same values as the example, okay? And because sometimes these are set by default and can generate problems. So what do I mean by this? This is the form we were working on, and this is the information that we had here, and we had added a button to be able to add a new employee to the table. Now I'm going to click the right mouse button. I'm going to go to properties, and we've got this list that marks the properties of the table, the properties of the table. Now I'm going to go over here to data. And in the original one we had previously, there were a few things here that were generating a problem. So first, there was this line here that said fetch defaults. Remember, you can watch the video. Remember that when I was doing the exercise, when we opened the form, automatically the first registry, so for the first registry was myself here, 1001 Jorge Sosa Lopez, that automatically appeared. Now, what was the problem with that information automatically appearing when the form is set is that when I was trying to modify it, it was interpreting that I was modifying that record. And the problem is that that record is already included somewhere else, or that primary key. So I really couldn't modify. It was interpreting that I was modifying the primary key, and that obviously cannot be modified because that record is already placed in other tables. And so originally this line that said fetch defaults was marked to yes. So we're going to mark it to no. That way, when we open the form, it's going to be blank. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing that I believe was marked here is data entry has to be marked to yes. Data entry here, this one, has to be marked to yes. Also, allow additions has to be marked to yes also, meaning that I can add and modify data, okay? Allow edits, I believe also, and no logs. So this information here, this is important. So when you're doing your form, just verify that these things are set as they are in this example. And this example, this version 2 of the database, is going to be in Blackboard later today. So up to what we had at this point, if I now go to the form view, which is the way the form should work, I can add another employee. So just as a reference, how many employees do I have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we had added Giselle. Okay. I believe we had added Giselle with the. No, I don't think we had added Giselle. I think I did this as a test, but it's already there. Just as an example, I'm going to add another employee. So I'm going to say this employee is going to be 10, 11. And employee name is going to be, I'm going to add Andrea. It's Andrea Castellanos, right?
Yes.
Sorry about asking the last names, but I'm got a bad memory. What's your birthday, Andrea?
April
You
13.
Yeah, we sang happy birthday
Yes.
to you, didn't we? Yeah.
You make me a
Uh, I remember that. Yeah, and I scared you because you thought I was angry. No,
yes.
never going to be angry with you guys. I genuinely like you guys. Your address is going to be 888 Royal Palace or something, whatever. Your salary is going to be a large salary also. We're going to give 20,000. How many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You're going to have a large salary. Let's just verify that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. It's going to be 20,000. Your department, I'm going to associate you to department 20. Your supervisor is going to be Dr. Solorio. Are you a manager? I'm going to say, yes, you're a manager. When did you start? You started yesterday. And I'm going to add the employee. So I'm going to click the button here. What happens when I do that? Automatically, the form goes blank. And if I go over here to employee, Andrea has been added. Okay. So Andreas has been automatically added. So this form can help me add records to the employee table, and we've eliminated the error, which was basically just that. By default, it was pulling up one of the records. And so when I clicked add employee, it was thinking that I was modifying. Let me see if this is clear and what was happening, you guys, because it has to do with the relationships and the integrity of the database. So what was being done is that when I loaded the form, this information was loaded by default. I'm going to try to replicate the error. I hope I don't break this, but I'm going to try to replicate the error. So I'm going to say fetch defaults. I'm going to say yes. I think this is the one. I think that one, and I think the data entry was set to no. I think it was that. And I'm going to run the form. I may break this, by the way. I'm just doing the experiment. I'm going to save it. So what's happening there? When I remove when I click the fetch defaults, it's loading. Notice what's happening. It's loading the first register, the first record. Are we clear on that? So now I'm saying that I want to modify. I'm going to change it. I'm going to say 70 or whatever. I don't know if the error is going to be replicated. So when I do that, what's happening? It's saying the record cannot be deleted or changed because table employee includes related records. What's happening? What's actually happening is that instead of the form thinking that I'm going to add a new record, it's thinking that I'm modifying this record. What's the problem with modifying the record Jorge Sosa Lopez? Jorge Sosa Lopez already has a social security number which is 1001. I'm changing that to 70. That would be a problem. Why? Because I've got this employee is already related to other tables, to the project table and to the dependent table. So basically, what was being interpreted is that I'm changing a field that's a primary key, and the database is saying, no, you can't do that because that primary key is everywhere else. Okay, is that clear to everybody? That was a problem that was being generated. So this is an error. So I'm going to go back to the design view. Okay, yes, I understood that. It's gonna, can't save the record. That's fine. I'm going to close it. I'm going to go back. I broke it again. I'm going to go to the design view. I'm going to go again to properties. I'm going to go here to fetch defaults. No. Data entry. Yes. Let's see if I didn't break it permanently. Can go save, go back over here to employee form view, and I'm going to add another employee. Let's say 1012. Diego, give me your last name. Remind me of your last name, Diego.
Martinez.
Martinez. It's perfect. It's not Martinez. It's Martinez. I love that.
Martinez.
No, that's fine. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was cool. My daughter is learning English, and she does not like to learn English. She does not like to learn English. So when the classes that they take in Zoom in the kinder, they're totally immersive. So the teacher only speaks English to them, which this particular teacher only speaks English with him, like me with you guys. And so my daughter asks something in Spanish and the teacher responds in English, and she's very frustrated. And so we were laughing a lot because my daughter was like, the teacher was like, oh, go get your scissors, go get your scissors. And my daughter was like, I'm gonna go get, voy a agarrar las tijeras, voy a agarrar las tijeras. And you ask Sarah, how do you say pear in English? Pear, the fruit? And she's like, pera. And so, yeah, she's going to have trouble in English. So I was just joking, Diego. Tough crowd. Birth date. What is your birth date, Diego?
November 11th.
November 11th. Okay. You still got a birthday moving forward. Your address is going to be 999 Super Bowl Avenue. You're going to have a cool salary. Let's give you 5 million. You're going to be in Department 30. I'm going to say that your supervisor, I think it's Dr. Terrazas, you are not a manager. Okay, and I'm going to add employee. See? So now if we go over here to the employee form, you're added. Okay? You see that? You guys see that? Okay. I'm going to close everything. No, close everything. I'm going to open the form here again. I'm just going to add a couple of more things just to show you guys that you can do a bunch of things here in Access. By the way, in these lab exercises that I'm doing, I'm being very pragmatic. I'm not focusing on form, meaning I'm not focusing on, oh, what color are we going to put the form in? Oh, should I put a pretty picture? Should I put the logo of something? I'm not focusing on that. I'm focusing on functionality. I expect you guys to show me your creativity when you do your lab exercises in your application project to make everything look pretty. Okay? Look pretty or look presentable. Okay? So to give you guys an example, so analytical masterminds, you're doing the draft, right? The draft for your application project, right? Which I think is a very interesting. Let me remind me, but I think you guys were focused on the New York Jets for some weird reason, right?
Yes.
Specified. Okay, yes. I expect your application project to be ganged green. So just to give an example of things that we can add, I'm going, let's do this. Let's do this. Help me out. Team Analytical Masterminds, look for a Jets logo and send it to me via the chat now. While I do something else. Look for a Jets logo in JPG or GIF or whatever and send it to me via the chat, any one of you. So I'm going to leave that sort of visual part up to you guys, to all of you guys. how you're going to make things pretty. You can change the background color. You can do whatever you want here to make these forms and reports look pretty. I'm going to leave that to you. But there's a bunch of things here in the design section that you can add many things to your form. I'm going to add a couple of things while they send me the logo. I'm going to add a button here. I'm going to add a button here in the corner.
Professor, it was a logo of what?
I'm asking the analytical masterminds house for them to send me a logo of the New York Jets. That's specifically for them, so I can add it here so you can see how you guys can add an image. Okay, and I'm going to do that in a moment. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Diego. Oh, no, don't send me a virus. Don't send me a virus because you will be flunked if you send me a virus. I don't know what file format you sent me, but it's a Jiffy file format. I don't know where you got that, but I don't recognize that file format. And when I tried to download it, it said that it's a potential risk. I need a normal image format, JPEG, GIF, a normal format, okay? Please, because I don't want to download it. But yeah, thank you, Jose Miguel. You sent me a PNG. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put a PNG there. Let's give it a try. Let me just save it because you guys already sent it. I'm going to put it in the desktop. Okay. We'll do that in a bit. So before I put the image there, I just added a button, and that button, I'm going to go here where it says application, and there is, I'm sorry, I'm going to go here to form, and there's an option here that says close form. I get this error because of the objects. I don't know why I'm getting that error. I'm just ignoring it. So I'm going to go here to form operation and close form. I'm going to put a picture here that says stop. These are default pictures, but I can actually choose a picture. I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to put this by default. And I'm going to call this close employee form. I'm going to click finish. And I'm going to put this up here in the corner. Again, I'm not focusing on making this pretty. I'm just focusing on functionality right now. Okay. And so I'm going to run this. And I'm going to add another record, 113. And this is going to be, let's say, Ricardo Hodgers. Ricardo, what is your birth date?
July 22nd, 2001.
Oh, your birthday is in vacations. That's good and bad. Good because you're not in class. Bad because they can't send you a happy birthday. You're going to be in 111 Beehive Manor. You're going to be.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, you're going to be earning 6 million. Notice that the young women are earning more than you guys, which I find.
I'm fine with that, honestly.
I'm actually also fine with that also, and that's cool. Your supervisor, I'm going to say it's going to be, I don't remember who's 104, but it's going to be that. I'm going to put that you're not a manager, and I'm going to add you, and you're added. If we go to the employee table, you're added. Here you are, Ricardo. And I'm going to close the form, so I'm going to click this button, and it closes the form. Okay, so I can add functionality. I can have fun with this if I want. The other thing I'm going to add now is that I can add an image. Where is the image control? Give me a moment. I need to find it. Web browser button, tab. There's a bunch of controls here that I can use. Image, no? Image. So I go here. Oh, I'm really silly, stupid. I can go here and select image here, or there's actually here on the right. It was right in my face. I can insert an image. I'm going to browse and I'm going to try to find the one that you guys sent me. Oh, it's the Jets. Here it is. And so here's the Jets logo. I'm going to add it here. And so this form is going to be a form that has to do with the Jets. Okay. And so if I go to the form view now it's got the Jets logo. I can place it wherever I want. It's got the Jets logo there. I can change the background. I can do whatever I want with the form. Okay. I expect you guys to be creative with regards to the with regards to how you're going to be doing things. I just want to do one next thing before we finish up. So notice something here. We've got the option that says, is the employee a manager? Yes or no. And then if so, I select the start date. However, let's see how we can add some functionality here. If the employee is not a manager, it doesn't make sense to put the start date, okay? If he or she is not a manager. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to add some functionality here. Let's see if I can remember how to do that. I'm going to click this control. I'm going to click the control that has to do with the start date. I'm going to click this one here. And I'm going to go over here where it says, let me see in format, I'm going to go where it says conditional formatting. What is conditional formatting? Conditional formatting is when I have an object, any sort of object, conditional formatting means how the object is going to look or perform depending on certain situations. So I'm going to go here to conditional formatting, and I've already selected this field, which is the manager start date, and I'm going to add a rule as to how that's going to look based on something. So I'm going to go to here, the new rule. And I'm going to go over here to field value. No, I'm going to go to expression. Okay. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to create an expression. And I'm going to say that the employee manager, yes, no. Okay. Is equal to 0, is equal to 0. 0 means no, 1 means yes. So 0 means it's not a manager. If the employee manager is equal to 0, then I am going to, there's a button here that says enable. I'm going to click it. That way it's gray. Okay. And I don't know, the background color, I'm going to put another gray there. So that's how it's going to look. Okay. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to click apply. Okay. I'm going to click OK. So let's see what happens there once I do that. Back here to home, I'm going to go to the form view. Notice what's happening here. Is the employee, I'm going to add another one. I'm going to say 120. Let's see who we can add here. Let's say Iskra Julieta. Could you remind me your last name, Iskra, and just to see if you're there?
Valenzuela Vizcarra.
Valenzuela. Oh, had you already been added? Had we already added you? Yes, we had already added you, Iskra. Sorry about that. We already added Iskra. So we're going to add somebody else. Thank you, Iskra. Let's see, Alejandro Flores, right?
Yes, Flores.
Okay, perfect. Alejandro Flores. And birth date, when's your birthday, Alejandro?
January the 3rd.
January the 3rd. You're one of those birthdays that's right after celebration.
Yeah, New Year's.
I know a professor, she's actually a comadre, Dania Licea. She was born on January 1st. And my mother's birthday is December 24th. So let's see, you're gonna also live in 111 Beehive Manor. You're gonna have a salary of $3 million. Okay, You're going to be associated to Department 20. Your supervisor is going to be me. Is the employee a manager? You're not a manager. And notice that because of the conditional formatting, the option of the start date is gray. So if I clicked it here, I could put a value. I'm going to say you are a manager. I'm going to say you started yesterday. But notice that the field is going to be gray or not gray or active or not active depending on the conditional formatting. And if I go now to the employee table, you have been added there. Okay. And so that's adding some functionality. And so there's a bunch of functionality that we can add. There's many things that we can add here. And again, I'm going to leave that to your creativity, what you want to add. There's a bunch of things here in the design view. You can add a logo. You can add a title. You can, again, you can modify colors. I don't know. I'm going to put it, let's see here. I'm going to put the color theme. You can select which color theme you want. Let's say that we want that color theme palette. So notice that the palette changed there. Okay. I think that fill back color, for example, let's say again that this is a Jets thing. Oh, that's so horrible. That looks extremely bad. But again, the Jets don't really have prettier colors. So I just put that color there. That's really ugly. I would need to change also the font type for this one. Okay. I would need to change how this looked, and do that. I think I don't know if I can change it there. But for example, now the form is going to look really green because I changed that. So right now I'm not good at the forms thing, so I can change many things in the form. Okay. I'm going to leave that part to you guys for your projects to try to make it prettier or make it more presentable. Okay. Questions up to this point? No. Okay.
No.
Okay. Thank you. It scared me. My volume was really up. You startled me. Okay. Good.